Hello, my name is Maggie Brauns. I have a background in ecosystem management technology, and I'm here to present on the Partners for Climate Protection program, the origin and aim of the program, its supporting rationale, other considerations, as well as benefits and disadvantages and recommendations. 2 years after Canada signed on to Agenda 21, the Federation of Canadian Municipalities created the Partners for Climate Protection program and sent a municipal primer to all Canadian municipalities. The subtitle of this document is Promoting Sustainable Development Through Local Strategic Action. Sustainable development is a term that was coined during the Brundtland Commission, which states that land cannot be treated as an ordinary asset controlled by individuals, and public control of land use is indispensable. On page 9 of the municipal primer is a flowchart of how Agenda 21, a blueprint for achieving sustainable development, would be implemented through Canadian municipalities. I'd like to draw your attention to the means of implementation, promoting education, public awareness and training, and information for decision-making. I'm focusing on those two items today. So the Partners for Climate Protection program is a means of implementation which provides information for decision-making based on Agenda 21 or UN directives. The PCP program offers tools, networking venues and events, case studies, and other informational resources, and access to the PCP Secretariat, who offers coaching and technical assistance, in particular drafting the municipal plans. The supporting rationale for the program, this is from the resolution to join, states that it is well established that climate change is increasing the frequency of extreme weather events, and goes on to say that these present a serious threat to our natural environment, our health, our jobs, and our economy. They also point out that Canada agreed to the Paris Climate Agreement, which is a commitment to limit global temperature increase to below 2 degrees Celsius. In the municipal primer, it states that human activities have resulted in global climate change and are expected to do so in the future, and that a lack of scientific certainty shall not be used as a reason for postponing sustainable development. So let's jump ahead 30 years to the year that we are in now and consider some other considerations. As currently as August 2023, the Clintel, the Global Climate Intelligence Group, released a World Climate Declaration stating that there is no climate change emergency, and it's been signed by almost 1,900 scientists in the field. They state that climate science should be less political, while climate policies should be more scientific. Scientists should openly address the uncertainties and exaggerations in their predictions of global warming, while politicians should dispassionately count the real cost as well as the imagined benefit of their policies. Only 0.3% of published scientific papers state that recent warming is mostly man-made. Natural factors as well as anthropogenic factors cause climate change. It's well established that the Geological Archive reveals that the Earth's climate has varied as long as the planet has existed. The Earth's orbit and tilt drive glacial and interglacial changes. The Little Ice Age ended as recently as 1850. Therefore, it is no surprise that we are now experiencing a period of warming. The world has warmed significantly less than predicted by the IPCC, that is the International Panel on Climate Change, and the main source of research for the Partners of Climate Protection program. The gap between the real world and the modeled world tells us that we are far from understanding climate change. The IPCC models not only exaggerate the effect of greenhouse gases, they also ignore the fact that enriching the atmosphere with CO2 is beneficial. CO2 is not a pollutant. It is not even a primary greenhouse gas. It makes up 0.04% of the Earth's atmosphere, and the warming effect of CO2 declines as its concentration increases. Additional CO2 in the air promotes growth in the global plant biomass. The Earth is becoming greener, not turning into a desert. CO2 is favorable for nature and the greening of our planet. It is plant food. CO2 is profitable for agriculture. It helps feed people. CO2 increases the yields of crops worldwide. There is no statistical evidence that global warming is intensifying the hurricanes, floods, droughts, and such like natural disasters or making them more frequent. That is a direct quote from the World Climate Declaration signed by almost 1,900 scientists. So is it true? Is it well established that climate change is increasing these extreme weather events? Let's have a look. Most of Antarctica is cooling and gaining ice. Heat waves are not becoming more frequent. Forest fires across the Northern Hemisphere are decreasing. Extreme heat events are declining. There are more polar bears now than in the last 50 years. Warmer weather means fewer temperature-related deaths, and that is because cold weather kills far more people than heat every year. So again, there is no statistical evidence that global warming is intensifying natural disasters. And I would submit to you that a lack of scientific certainty should be used as a reason for postponing sustainable development. There's ample evidence that CO2 mitigation measures are as damaging as they are costly. Climate policy must respect scientific and economic realities. Canada's trees absorb far more carbon dioxide than we put out, and Canada is a carbon sink. There is no climate change emergency, therefore there is no cause for panic or alarm. We strongly oppose harmful and unrealistic net zero CO2 policies proposed for 2050. Go for adaptation instead of mitigation. Adaptation works whatever the cause is. And certainly here in Canada, we have a lot of issues that are affecting every Canadian that should be a focus of our those in public office. So the benefits of the program I have already stated, and of course, it's free. So what's the catch? The disadvantages of this program are that the municipal plans will be drafted with an emphasis on UN directives, so-called sustainable development, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, and they are now including gender diversity and inclusion into their municipal climate action plans. This program will cost the council, committee, and staff time reviewing and accepting climate change reports. And this program will encourage the municipality to commit public funds to private sustainable development goals and foreign investors. Official plans based on sustainable development restrict private property rights and severances, limit mobility, drive future population growth to selected settlement areas, reduce tax revenue for smaller municipalities. Reduced revenue means reduced services. And again, you're committing public funds to private sustainable development goals. This will also limit decision-making and public consultation. Decision-making options will be limited to UN directives. Councillors who oppose the UN directives will face heavy consequences. This committee has a duty to maintain the decision-making options of the council of the city of Thorold and protect the rights of the members of the public from foreign agendas. See the statement of principles as well as the criminal code for section 46 and 83. We are also finding that deputations, they are attempting to deny deputations based on jurisdiction and stating that cities who partner with this program consider their decision-making authority under the broad umbrella of the United Nations directives, because Prime Minister Trudeau is aiming to achieve Agenda 2030. So the recommendations from this deputation are the following: that the Council of Thorold be directed to review the Municipal Primer of 1994 so they know exactly what they are signing up for. That the Council of Thorold be directed to review the World Climate Declaration of 2023 so they are up to date on current science when it comes to climate change. And that the Council of Thorold support the motion on March 19th, 2024 to rescind report DC 8 to 2023 dated February 7th, 2023, respecting the Partners for Climate Protection Program, financial considerations, and be reconsidered, and the following recommendations be reconsidered: that the City of Thorold's participation in the Partners for Climate Protection Program be approved, that the staff be directed to conduct an annual review of the program, that an elected official be appointed as joint contact alongside an assigned planning staff for the PCP program updates and plan endorsement, and that Councillor O'Hara be appointed as joint contact alongside an assigned planning staff member for PCP program updates and plan endorsements. And with that, I would like to say thank you very much for giving me this time, and I'm prepared to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you very much for the presentation, Maggie. It's very interesting. I'm going to open the meeting up for discussion from the committee. If somebody wants to start some comments.
And I'm happy to put anything back up on the screen if you have any questions.
Okay, I see Leslie has her hand up.
It was very interesting. I've heard a lot of those facts before. Before we would do anything that you proposed at the end, as a committee, I would suggest that we should look at the documents you're suggesting we direct our councillors to look at before we make any decision one way or the other.
And I agree. Yes.
It's a lot to take in the differences.
Yes.
Okay.
So if that could be the case, that would be great.
Okay, Maggie, could you put the last screen up again for us to look at?
Yep.
What Leslie was referencing.
Can you see that there?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I feel like this isn't the right one. Did you put it up?
Yeah, this one here. Yeah,
Matthew?
this one. Yeah.
I actually updated this just a little bit. Do you want me to share that, or?
What do you mean? What have you updated on it?
So there was just a few little words there. So Matthew, is it Matthew that's sharing his screen? If I could share, I can put this up.
You should be able to share.
Okay, thank you. Screen.
Okay. So is this what you're referring to, Leslie, that we should be looking at these various documents before we make any decision from the committee?
Yes, because I don't think we have enough information
Yeah.
from this one meeting to agree to everything.
The municipal primer is only about 46 pages, so it's not a huge document, and it's of significance and interest.
Okay, is there any comments from the committee on the direction of reviewing all this information before we make a decision? We can probably come back to the next meeting. comments, anybody?
And I will say that the World Climate Declaration, it's just page 3. And the rest is all the signatories and their titles. They're from their professional backgrounds, mainly in geology, physics, earth science related scientific fields.
Okay. Can I get any comments from anybody on this? Leslie?
You need a motion for us to look at these points that Maggie has raised and the documents. I mean, if it's only 46 pages, I would feel more comfortable reading it first and looking at it with a little bit more information. But we could make a motion to review that document.
I agree. Justin?
So one possible option from this was we were talking about possibly creating a working group. And if the working group wants to go through the documents, look through it and so forth, and then the documents, of course, can be added to the next meeting as an update, if that's where the committee wants to go.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, yeah, because we were going to establish a PCP working group. I'm not too sure who the members would be in it.
I'll just jump in there, Mr. Chair, for a second. I don't
Sure.
think you specifically need a motion to circulate the information. Staff can circulate those documents to all the committee members.
Okay.
Once you get to dealing with the setting up of your working group, you could certainly put this also on their agenda to specifically review that. However, staff can certainly circulate those 2 documents to all members of the committee. That's not a problem, and you don't need direction or a motion for that.
Okay. We need a motion, though, to establish the members of the working group.
So I think that was part of your agenda if you're
Yeah.
creating a working group, but I would just recommend that see if there's any further questions to the delegate and complete your delegation first, and then you can move on to committee business.
Okay. Is there any further questions to the delegate then? And if not, then we can move on. Okay, seeing none. Thank you very much for the presentation, Maggie.
Thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you on March 19th.
Okay. So now let's